Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Tuesday. We have 8 games today, starting at 7 o'clock. So let's get started. As always, really appreciate if you guys hit the like button. This takes 2 seconds to do that. Helps the channel grow a lot. Had a very good day yesterday on all the MLB and NBA slates. Hit about 286 on DraftKings for NBA, 314 on FanDuel. Had a couple of great value plays, Bembry and Malachi Flynn, once Van Fleet was out, and they did great, and then was able to pay off for some studs like Luca, had Fox on FanDuel, so it was a very good day. Keep it going today. So if you want to join us, you can visit the website, link is in the description. Follow on Twitter for updates at the DFS process, and let's get started. So looking at the point guard options, we have 3 guys above 9K. I like Trae Young quite a bit. He's $9,100. Coming off of a dud against the Warriors, but it's still a spot where I think you can go to him to get back on track. His price tag has taken a $400 dip from his most recent game. It's just a spot where it should be a high-scoring game. Young is still, the Hawks are still shorthanded, so Young should still get more usage, and I just think he's probably going to have a good game soon. Then I would probably go with Lillard and then Curry. Lillard is $9,400 going up against the Clippers. This game has the second highest total of the slate. Lillard has a nice price tag down to 9,400, so he would also be a guy that I would like to get to. If I don't really want to go to Ben Simmons with Embiid back today, I don't want to go to Holiday at that price tag, 8K. McCollum, I'd rather go up to Lillard. Jamal Murray's also expensive, so I won't get to him. I like Lonzo, especially if they're missing 1 or 2 guys again. And there's if Zion or Ingram miss. I mean, he played 38 minutes. They're not going to be without not going to be with Alexander Walker or Kyra Lewis today, so pretty short on the guards that they have available. And he played 37 minutes, was great, 8 of 15 from three-point land. I think you definitely can take a shot and go with Lonzo today at a pretty high price tag, but it could definitely work out if they're shorthanded again, which they could definitely be. And then John Morant, 7,200. I probably like Lonzo a little bit more. John Morant's just been kind of tough to pin down all season, and probably could be defended by Jimmy Butler today. I like Dennis Schroeder at $6,900. Good price tag, good matchup. Still getting a ton of usage on the Lakers with all these injuries. Brogdon is questionable if he plays. He looked very nice at only $6,800. And then looking at some value plays like Isaiah Thomas probably make his debut for the Pelicans today. He's already 5,100, so they didn't price him to where you wanted to jump on him. I think you could if you want and take some shots in tournaments, but if he was like low 4K range, I would probably take a shot. But 51, you need like 30 at least, and that's kind of going to be tough. And then for more value is definitely Malachi Flynn if Van Fleet is out again. So keep an eye on that news. You definitely want to play Flynn in that scenario. You also want to play Bembry, whose price tag went down to 3K after it was $3,100 yesterday. So both of those guys would be great value plays if Van Fleet is out once again. Moving on to shooting guard, I like Paul George. He's $8,100. Good matchup against the Blazers. Should be a high scoring game, especially when you look at Holiday and McCollum at similar price tags. I'd rather go to Paul George. Zach LaVine's been up and down all season. He's been down recently. I'd rather go to Paul George at only $300 more. So I like Paul George the most out of any of these top end shooting guards. In the 6K range, I'm looking at Bledsoe, Trent if Van Fleet is out again, and Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich is $6,200, continues to get good minutes for the team. Only shot 3 of 10, put up 26. So first dud in his last 4 games was the most recent game against the Warriors. And a good spot for him to get back on track against the Pelicans. Price tag has gone down by $400. Still going to get good minutes without Hunter, Reddish, John Collins. So I expect Bogdanovich to have a very nice game in this one. Other guys in the 5K range that look appealing are like, you could look to Will Barton at 55, but he's mainly just like a low-owned tournament dart throw. In the 4K range, you can look to some cheap plays here. Maybe you can look to like Desmond Bain with there's no Melton today, or maybe Grayson Allen at 44 without Melton. So you get a couple extra minutes. And that's kind of it. I don't really see anybody in the 3K range that looks that appealing. Small forward, Kawhi, Butler are both nicely priced. I probably like Butler more than Kawhi, especially because I like Paul George a little bit more. I don't really want to go to Simmons or Tobias with Embiid and both of those guys above $8,000 in price. Kind of like going down here in the 6K range with Kelly Oubre, Aaron Gordon. Both of those guys are nicely priced. Even Kyle Kuzma is only $6,800. Then go ahead and put in Aaron Gordon. He's only $6,300. You're getting a power forward player that gives you small forward eligibility. He's been playing a lot of minutes the last couple, 35, 39. It's a great sign to see. He's a guy that's a very good defensive player, gets you some blocks and steals, gets you rebounds, facilitates at an okay rate, and he's just getting a lot of good looks since he's with the Magic. I mean, since he's with the Nuggets now, wasn't getting the same kind of looks when he was with the Magic. The Jokic makes everything easier for him. They got guys spread out on the 3-point line, so he's able to do his work in the paint. Really like Gordon at a nice price tag. Kyle Anderson is cheap. Again, if you want to take a shot, he had a good game against Philly. And then the 4K range is probably like Patrick Williams as a value play. You could look to Marshall if they're super limited again today. But that's kind of it. Power forward of Giannis is the top spend up. At the position 10-7, you have Siakam, looks really good if there's no Van Fleet again. And then I like another guy that's cheap here that's probably going to be like Robert Covington at only $5,800. I think he's in a good spot. Like they absolutely wrecked OKC, so he only played 24 minutes. They didn't have to play that much in the second half. Before that, he's been playing 34, 36 in close games. Could see a similar amount, maybe a couple more today. There's no Nurkic, so we'll see some extra minutes in the front court for a guy like Covington, and he just gives you a lot of upside because he can have these big games and blocks and steals, and so his like volatility is pretty high, but he has a huge ceiling compared to some other guys in his range. So I will gladly take a shot when he's finally dipped back under $6,000 again, 5,800. So even like 32 DraftKings points is hitting value for Covington. Other guys at power forward you have are like the Morris twins at 5K. I like Covington a little bit more. You can look at Gallinari at 57. Then it's like Patrick Williams at the value play, and that's kind of it. We don't have a lot of cheap value right now. Center options, you have guys at the top. I probably like Jokic the most, then Embiid, then Giannis. So probably Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. Vooch is 87. He lives in a good spot against the Pacers. If you wanted to go to him at $8,700, especially if they're missing some more pieces, Pacers could be a team that we can get some value from. Then the 6K range, it's like Drummond is questionable if he plays and it's not limited. You could look to him. If there's no Sabonis, you can look to Miles Turner. But you have the guy that a lot of people play, and that's Enes Kanter. Only $6,000. There's no Nurkic today, so he'll go back to playing probably 30-plus minutes tonight against Zubats and, basically against Zubats, like the only center they have. Probably will be able to hit value pretty easily in this one. He gives you 40, 45 point upside, so getting a nice price tag on Kanter with some extra minutes without Nurkic today. And then last but not least, go ahead and put in Paul George here, $8,100. Want to get a piece of the Clipper side. I have a couple of Blazers in here that I like. And Paul George, I just like the price tag, $8,100. Dealing with a bit of like a toe injury, but maybe that'll scare some people off him. The minutes are still there for him. And he's had some good games recently after he missed like a few in a row. I think it's a good spot for Paul George. Put a 52 earlier this meeting, just 28 minutes. Should get some open looks, and he's had a nice price tag. So that's kind of it for the DK side. Let's jump over to FanDuel. So for this NBA slate, go through it semi-quickly. Kind of the same plays I like on the DraftKings side. Point guard I like. Trae Young is nicely priced, $8,500. Lillard at a good price tag, $9,200. You can look to Lonzo Ball, $7,500. If Brogdon plays, he's only $6,700 against Chicago. That is a nice price tag. And then you have Bledsoe as a value play. Flynn is already priced up to 51, so he's not much of a play on FanDuel. I like Trae Young, 85 against the Pelicans at home. Shooting guard, it's going to be Paul George. Again, it's Paul George at the top. Position is filled with a lot of top-end guys, but they're kind of priced high, like McCollum, LeVert, Wiggins is priced up. I would look to Levine as a value piece. And then you have Trent. If there's no Van Fleet again today, would be nice. You have Barton as a value piece, maybe Kevin Huerter. Small forward, I like Butler and Kawhi. I like Butler more than Kawhi. 7K range, it's kind of Kuzma looks appealing. Jaylen Brown looks nice. Bogdanovich is 72, so I might go a little bit cheaper, but he's still in play. I don't mind getting into Kelly Oubre at just 6,400. And then in the 5K range, we have Gallo, who's only 5,200. I like him. He gets some extra minutes in the front court without Collins right now, and he's in a really good spot against the Pelicans. Power forward, besides Giannis, we have some guys that are priced up that are questionable, Williamson and Sabonis. Take a wait-and-see approach on their statuses. I like Sabonis right now at 9,200. In the 7K range, Gordon looks fine at 71. Maybe Draymond, but he's kind of priced up to 75. 6K range is Covington, Jeremy Grant. Both of those guys look nice. Go with Covington here. And then at center, you have a couple of ways to go. If you're not going to pay up for the 2-stud, I would go cheap here and go cheap with a Cantor at only 58. It's going to be Cantor or Boucher for the value pieces. Boucher mainly if there's no Van Fleet. But that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Best of luck tonight, and catch you all later.